stand in mountain. Okay, so check in with your feet. Have your feet be facing towards the front. Notice your connection with the ground. Admit somebody else. And shoulders up and back. Think that puppet string pulling you tall. Notice your breath. And maybe try swaying back and forth and really feeling what your feet are doing. Maybe lift up your toes and set them down again. Try to spread them all out. Really glue your feet into the ground. And then you can add that external rotation of your shoulders by putting your hands towards the front. Notice this is mountain, right? We're going to add breath and give your rib cages room to come in. Somebody fill out and coming back in. Okay, so if you have room, bring your arms up on an inhale and let them back down on your exhale. You might, if you're trying, like I don't have room over here, you can scoop the air up and come down. You can also come through with your hands together and out and down. Whatever you have space for in your space, but expanding up on the inhale and arms back down on the exhale. I don't know why Jordan can't hear anything. If anybody has any ideas, please write it in the chat. And Bennett fell out and back in. Welcome back, Bennett. Hopefully you'll stay. Okay. Now we're going to add on. I'm going to start at the back of my mat. And we're going to move into a forward fold. I'm going to model it different ways, right? So my arms are coming up. On my inhale and my exhale, I swan dive forward, hinging at my hips as far as I can go, and then I try to let my head dangle. You might have a bend in your knees. And this is where blocks might help, right? Where you can bring the floor a little bit closer to you so that you can feel a little bit more stable. Or even your chair, if you have a chair, to kind of flop off of. And still breathe from here. In a forward fold, you're stretching your hamstrings a lot, right? And you think that the smile of your butt is called the gluteal fold. And as you're doing this, you kind of want to pop your butt. And maybe even have a bend and pop your butt. So you want that smile of your butt trying to go towards the ceiling. It sometimes helps to internally rotate, spiral your leg bones in a little bit, and that also helps you get some space back there, especially if we're tight. So I'm bending my knees, letting my head dangle, trying to pop my booty so that the smile of my butt is towards the ceiling, internally rotating both my legs and breathing, just dangling here, however that looks like for you. And then there's a position we call flat back or half forward fold. And you're straightening your torso. So it's like we're in mountain and we're just Again, hinging at the hips and going over as far as you can go. And sometimes it's helpful to traction off of your thighs or your shins if you don't have a block, or stacking your blocks so you can have it, and you want to have your spine and neck in line with the rest of your spine, your head looking down, or you can use a chair. And notice your breathing. Notice where you're feeling a stretch. Notice what your feet are doing. And then dangle again. Let your head go. And then we're going to come back up to standing. So engage your abs. Stand back up. Bring your arms up overhead. Big inhale. And then back to mountain. Right? That's a half sun salutation. And we're going to do this little sequence a couple times. I'll try to model with the different props. And we try to do one breath, one movement. But if I haven't cued you, keep breathing, but then when you transition, try to follow the cue. So if I inhale, arms up, and I don't tell you to exhale yet, take a breath and then move with your exhale if that's the next cue, right? So inhale, arms up, and then exhale, dive forward and dangle in forward fold. Then flat back on an inhale, looking down. Exhale, let your head dangle, forward fold. Then inhale, stand up, arms up, and exhale, back to mountain. I'm going to do it with props more, so I'm going to use blocks this time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Maybe even stack them. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Exhale, mountain. One more time with the chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Exhale, mountain. So far, so good? Okay, this time we're going to add on, and we're actually going to go down to the ground. So I'm going to move the chair back a little bit for me. Starting at the back of your mat or your space, wherever it is. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale. Now move your stuff away. Bend your knees and just come on down to your knees. Hands and knees. This one is called tabletop because we're trying to be super stable about it. So your knees are under your hips. Your elbows and wrists are underneath your shoulders. Your back is super flat and you're looking down. And your feet are parallel to each other behind you. And this is tabletop, right? Move my chair. Oh. Sorry, somebody else is coming in. Okay. Now we're going to do what's called a scapular push-up. And a lot of times people tend to hammock their backs and not be pressed into their shoulders. But I want you to press out of your shoulders and do a scapular push-up. So really kind of arch your back. And so if you do a push-up, you could like let it hammock and then push up. I don't know if it makes it to be better from this view, but dropping down and pushing up. And dropping down and pushing up. In this strength, position of strength, this from a push-up position is what we're looking for. If you need something underneath your knees, grab a towel or something. This is bugging you. And then, especially for those of us who like to hyperextend our elbows, you want to screw your hands into the ground, like internally rotate them, because the elbow creases you don't want facing towards the front. You want them to be more facing towards each other. So if you have flexibility, you have to use your strength. So I'm twisting my arms towards, my fingers towards each other almost, and shifting so my elbows aren't flared. And then I'm pushing out into my back, or out from the hammocky shoulder position. And then I'm gonna add my arm out and still gonna remain stable. So I'm looking at my arm, seeing if it's next to my ears, seeing if it's straight out. It's like you're about to shake hands with somebody across the way, right? And notice what happens to your core muscles and the stability in your hand and your feet as you get a little bit on, a tripod feel. And go ahead and put that arm down again, and then your opposite leg, your left leg, put it in a kickstand, and then raise it up. And then look, see if your foot is parallel to the ground, or your leg is parallel to the ground, or if you're way up here. And then see if you can keep your hips parallel to the ground and not stack up on your hips. So here we go. Again, notice your connection, what your hands are doing, maybe even particularly press underneath your index fingers and screw your hands into the ground. And come on down for a second. And then we're going to try both together. If that's a little much for you today, just do one, but let's see if we can do right arm and left leg at the same time. And try to keep your table super stable. Like somebody should be able to put a drink on your back and it's not going to spill over. Oh. Last thing here is windshield wiper your arms and your legs. Create a little bit of challenge and then come on back down. Great. We're going to do the other side now. So left arm up, and just notice your connection, what happens, where your weight shifts by just having one arm up. Then see what your arm is doing. Is it kind of parallel to the ground or is it somewhere else, right? Go ahead and put that hand down, and we'll do the right leg. Starting kickstand first, and then just raise it up. Notice what that does to your table. See if you don't stack your hips, see if you can keep them parallel to the ground. Really press in with your hands. Keep breathing. And go ahead and set it down again, and then we're going to do both together if you can. Okay. So left arm, right leg, and keep breathing. Looking down, noticing what's happening with your right hand. Maybe checking to see what your alignment looks like. Falling out if you need to. And then windshield wiper your arm and your leg. Wah! And then go back down. Great. Excellent. The next piece that I want to teach you is a yoga push-up, and we're going to do it from tabletop. So when yogis do a push-up, it's not with your elbows out and just doing this kind of a thing. It's actually a shift forward and lower down, coming back up again. So it's easiest to try that from tabletop because your muscles might not be used to it. We'll normally just lower down, but pushing back up again can be a real challenge. So to show that again, so I'm in tabletop, I'm going to shift forward. My elbows are still close to each other, and I'm going to bend my elbows, kind of put my nose on the ground, and then push back up again. So my elbows are in, and I kind of make a 90-degree angle. It's almost like this is what the ending position looks like.
right? My shoulders are trying to be up and back. A lot of us have a tendency to roll shoulders forward. I really do. If this is, so some of us, it's gonna be a tabletop push-up. So from tabletop, shift forward, lower down, and lower back up again, and come back up again. If this is a lot on your wrist, or if you have blocks, you can try coming up with your fingers off of a block, and that sometimes helps relieve some pressure at your wrist area. So I'm gonna lean forward, come down, and then push myself back up. So it's almost like a girl push-up. If you're feeling strong, or you are strong, you can try full plank and lower down that way, or just one leg in plank and try it. And get comfortable with your arms. Some people like, and it ends up being a little bit wider, maybe even having your pinky off the mat. And if you can, go ahead and do full plank, shift forward, and come down. And I can't come up that way very easily, so I go down to my knees, right? So that is a yoga push-up. So we're gonna, I just wanted to show you from tabletop, from your knees, from one leg in plank, from both legs in plank, on the blocks, without the blocks. If you're using a chair, can you still see the chair? You can shift forward and lower down, just like we were doing, and come back up again, right? But this time, let's go from the lower down and just lay down. So for me, from tabletop, shift forward, lower down, and then my tops of my feet are on the floor, my elbows are still together, and I'm just gonna take a break here because some of those push-ups can be hard. You can pillow your forehead on your hands or your chin or whatever's comfortable for you. Sometimes it feels good to rock your hips back and forth from here. And notice your breathing again. Particularly see if you can push your belly into the ground on the inhales. Okay. And now we're going to do a next pose is called Cobra, and you raise your torso. So your shoulders are still back, your elbows are still in, and you raise your torso like you're a snake, Cobra. If you feel any kind of pinch in your lower back, push down with your pelvis into the ground and engage your belly muscles, but you should be able to push back in some format, whatever feels good for you. Press down on your feet, press down with your legs, press down with your pelvis, and go ahead and lift into a back bend, looking forward. Come on down. That's Cobra. Okay, and we're going to come back in through tabletop and try what's called down dog. From tabletop, it's a V. It's an upside down V.
I have a question about Cobra.
Uh-huh.
Can we do it with our arms straight? Like if we can go that high up?
So if you want to go all the way up, there's a position called up dog where your points of contact are your hands and your feet, and you're hammocking this way and looking forward, but maybe you're not collapsing, right? That's the idea, is you want to have as strong shoulders. My elbows are facing, my creases of my elbows are facing towards each other, and my arms are straight. If you can do a straight arm from...
Can I show you what I mean? Can I take off my video?
Yeah, if you could,
okay.
That'd be great.
Okay, basically, I don't know if you could, I'll have to put you on the floor. Okay. So basically, if I go like that, can I do
Oh my
it?
gosh, look how flexible you are. Yes, that's perfectly fine. As long as
Okay.
you're not compressing your back and it's uncomfortable in your back.
Yeah, it's not.
Okay, then you're fine.
Okay, good.
Great, good question. Thanks. Yay, see how this works? Okay. So here go Cobra, and then I'm going to go into down dog. So sometimes it might be helpful to have a little bit wider positioning than just straight tabletop, but sometimes that's a good measuring point from tabletop. And I'm gonna tuck my feet, press into my hands, and then shoot my hips up towards the sky. Let my head dangle. So again here, I'm gonna internally rotate my legs. Perfectly great to have bent knees because we're trying to have a long spine from your tailbone all the way down out through your fingertips, one big line. Now the tendency is for people to think that this is down dog, but it's not. You want to really push back and let your head dangle. And if you want to, they call it walk your dog, if you could just do it like a little calf stretch, straightening one leg and then bending it. And then come back into tabletop. Another option is what they call puppy. And so it's basically from your knees and down, the same energy as down dog. But instead of being on your feet, you just stay on your knees and maybe put your arms forward a little bit and shift back from here. And you should have the same energy as we did with our feet on the ground, long spine, head dangling. And that's an option as well. From here, go back onto your tippy toes and then just walk your hands back to your feet. And we'll be in forward fold again. Let your head dangle. Bent knees are great. And then flat back again. Then forward fold again. And then we're going to stand up, arms up, and back to mountain. That sequence of poses is called a sun salutation. And we're going to try it. One breath, one movement. I'm going to model it with blocks. I'm going to model it with the chair. I'm going to model it with just without props, so you'll see all three versions. Please pick the one that's right for you. It's all yoga. It's just like different flavors of ice cream. So let's start with blocks. Okay, so back of my mat, here we go. Checking in with my mountain. Thinking about that puppet string pulling me tall and my connection with the ground. Noticing my breath. And then I'm gonna inhale and arms up. Exhale, forward fold, let your head dangle. Inhale, flatten your back. Exhale, come on down through hands and knees to whatever version of plank is right for you and lowering down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, I'm going to down dog from my blocks. Sometimes that's comfortable for people. It gives you a little bit longer leg or arms to counteract your legs. And then I'm going to walk back, my hands back to my feet for forward fold. And then I'm going to inhale for flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Exhale, mountain. Did I forget something? I don't know. I'm going to do it without props this time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, let your head dangle. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, come on down to your hands and knees, plank, shift forward, lower down. Tops of your feet on the ground. Inhale, cobra. Tuck your toes again. Bend your knees, push into down dog, upside down V. And walk your feet towards your hands. And inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Exhale, mountain. We're going to do it one more time. I'm going to with the chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plank, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bring your hands to your forward fold and then flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, stand up, arms up. Exhale, mountain. Check in with your mountain. And then we're going to do a little bit of a challenge mountain because it's fun. So reach up as high as you'll go. Really reach. And then come up on your tippy toes as high as you can go. And see what that does. Maybe you need to walk around a little bit. But when you don't have your arms to balance you so much, it's kind of a challenge on your tippy toes. So it helps if you really focus on your core. It helps if you look at one point. It helps if you don't look at me, fall over. It helps if you smile. And come on down. All right, excellent. I don't know why. So Carrie has to leave, and this will be recorded for you guys to be able to do again. Okay, so this time from the top of your mat, we're going to do what some people call a sun salutation and some people call a moon salutation. It's basically the same ideas. We're just going to add on a little bit. And this time, we're doing a back bend, like you're a crescent moon is part of the sort of energy that we're looking for. So I'm at the front, should be all relatively familiar. I'm going to inhale my arms up. This time I'm going to bring my hands together and back bend a teeny bit looking at my thumbs, right? And then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. We've been here before. Now this time, bend your knees so you can put your hands on the ground and bring your left foot back as wide as you can go. Release the top of your foot to the ground and come up for a low lunge. And we're going to be here for a second. You can put your hands here, but try not to twist towards your knee. Try to keep your shoulders pointed straight ahead. So sometimes it helps to have your blocks to help you be symmetrical. If you need something under your knee, go ahead and grab it. And you should feel a stretch in your hip flexor. You can bend into it more if you are more flexible than I am there. And then you can add your arms. And if you want to, bring your hands together and have a back bend looking at your thumbs. Cool. From here, we're going to go to down dog. So actually, I'll use my blocks. Bringing my foot back and pushing into down dog. Letting my head dangle. Then coming on to hands and knees. And our new pose is puppy. No, sorry, child's pose. So people have different ways of doing child's pose. For me, the one that's it's supposed to be a comfort pose, a relaxation pose. The one I like is wide knees, toes together, sit back on my heels, and then I'm gonna lean forward, and my belly is gonna go in this space that I made. If you have more belly, don't be afraid to touch yourself and move things where they need to be. And I'm gonna just drop my body into this space and then do whatever's comfortable with your hands. Sometimes people like to have their forehead on the ground. Sometimes people like to stack their hands and look out. Sometimes people like to have their arms out in front of them. Sometimes people like to have their arms next to them. Find something that's comfortable for you. Maybe that's uncomfortable for you. Some people like to have both legs together and make kind of a little ball. Some people are like, my feet don't do that, my legs don't do that. Some people like to keep their shins kind of vertical, like we were doing with puppy pose, and try to find relaxation this way. So find the variation of child's pose where you can find relaxation, a little bit of a rest spot. Whatever it is for you. And then again, notice your breathing. And then we're going to come out and just come on to your hands and knees. And we're going to do a little counteracting that crunch with a little back bend. Your hands on your lower back, upper butt, fingers pointing down. Try to bring your elbows together so you have that openness here, like we were trying to do in mountain pose. And then lean back and look up. Another back bend. Then come briefly into child's pose again. Kind of counteract that back bend. And then come on to hands and knees into downward facing dog. So press into your feet. You're welcome to keep your knees bent and have that long spine all the way out to your fingertips. Let your head relax. It doesn't matter where your heels are. But you want that smile of your butt towards the ceiling. And then we're going to bring our left leg forward. Release the top of your foot, of your right foot down to the ground, and then come on up for a lunge on this side. Again, notice if you're twisting towards your knee and see if you can bring your shoulders parallel to each other, facing front. You might want a block or a chair to assist. You might want something under your knee. And just notice where you're feeling the stretch. And if you want to add arms going straight up, go ahead and do that. Notice what that does to your side muscles and to your hip flexors. And then try a little back bend if that's available to you. Put your hands together, look at your thumbs and arch back. And then we're going to come out of it. put your, come on off of your back knee and then walk or hop your feet together at the front for forward fold. Let your head dangle. And then we're going to come into flat back, forward fold, stand up, arms up, maybe your hands together for a little back bend, and then back to mountain. All right, so we're going to do that. Oh my gosh. We only have 15 minutes left in class. Okay, so this is no worries. We're going to do that a couple more times. Try it with the blocks first. So front of the mat, check in with my mountain. I'm going to inhale, arms up, my hands together for a mini back bend. Then forward fold. Let my head dangle. And flat back. And then I'm going to bring my left foot back. Drop that knee down, top of the foot to the ground, and come up, hands together for a mini back bend. Through tabletop to down dog. Then I'm going to come forward for plank and lower down with my elbows towards my side. Cobra. Back to down dog. And then my left leg forward. You can bring your knee down, bring your left leg forward, come up, arms together for back bend. Then I'm going to bring my right leg to meet my left for forward fold. Flat back, forward fold. And then stand up, arms up for a mini back bend. And back to mountain. Did I use my blocks? I don't even know. It's kind of interesting to do that from a chair. So inhale, arms up. Do whatever's right for you and your body. Forward fold. Flat back. Forward fold. Bring your left leg back for a lunge. Come on up. Go into down dog. Plank. Lower down. Cobra. Down dog. Left leg forward for a lunge. Arms up. Bring your feet together for forward fold. Flat back. Forward fold. Stand up, arms up. Back to mountain. Yay. We're going to do one more. And we're going to actually do the first sun salutation that we did from our knees. So come on down to the back of your mat again. And it's the same yoga, it's just a little bit from your knees. For some reason, it feels like a call to prayer for me, a little bit from your knees. So check in with your mountain from your knees. Same thing, you're just standing on your knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back, which in this instance might be tabletop. Exhale, puppy, so my hands are going forward and I'm just rocking back so I have a long spine. Inhale, cobra, or lower down for your belly, and cobra. I'm running into my chair. then puppy again. Come back to forward fold, flat back, forward fold, stand up, arms up, and back to mountain. Variations of a theme, right? So now we're going to have a little bit of a meditation time, and I want to give you options for that, and then we'll have a Shavasana. So if you're just sitting on the ground, you can sit on the chair, you can sit on a block. There's two options for sitting on a block. It's kind of just easy pose. My block is oriented this way. You can also, some people find orienting the block like this and sitting with your butt on the block this way is comfortable for some people. Some people are like, this is more murder on my tops of my feet. You can do it without a block if that's comfortable for you. Might not be. And then you have options of just sitting there in an easy pose. But sometimes it feels like your legs are getting tangled. So some people find that not having your legs crossing, particularly if you're going to sit there for a while, is sometimes helpful. Sometimes half lotus kind of a position where one foot is kind of in the crease between your knee and your shin, or your thigh and your shin. Experiment with what feels comfortable for you. Try switching sides. Maybe none of these are great for you, then just sit in the chair. But let's sit in a way that you can be still for a minute or so. Okay, once you've found your position, if you want to, close your eyes or just have a soft gaze or look at a point or something beautiful, pleasant. And again, notice your breathing. And see where you notice your breath the most, your anchor point, wherever that might be for you today, and focus on that for a minute. For some of you, it's your nose. For some of you, it's your throat. For some, it's your chest or your belly. Maybe it's the whole channel. Feel the sensation of your breathing. And then we want to move into Shavasana. Now, traditionally, there's lots of options for Shavasana too, so I want to go over all of them. Try all of them and then pick whichever one feels comfortable in your body. Traditionally, Shavasana or corpse pose is basically mountain lying down. So all of those cues for mountain, lying on your back, palms up, shoulders back. Usually you can let your feet flop out as well. Lift around until you find stability there. And let's just take a couple breaths to feel what this version of Shavasana is like for you. Some people don't like this. Some people would rather just be more in a fetal position on their side. So let's try that and see if that feels good for you. Some people like this sort of security of being on their belly. It might be nice to pillow your forehead on your hands so that your neck isn't twisted one way or another. Let's take a couple breaths to experiment with this one. We have 5 minutes left in class. My alarm's going off to remind me that we have 5 minutes left in class. Excuse me. Okay. If you have a wall available, there are a couple with a wall. One is kind of about your shins distance away from the wall. You lay back and put your feet on the wall. And it's almost like you're sitting in a chair. Some people who have lower back pain find this to be really. So let's take a couple breaths in astronaut, like we're about to be launched off to the moon. And then some people like legs up the wall. And to get your legs up the wall, you sit next to the wall and then you lean back and shift your feet up so that your heels are on the wall. Or you just scoot in. You don't want to hyperextend your knees though, so be in far enough that you're not putting too much pressure on the backs of your knees. And just notice. Notice what happens to your circulation. Okay, I'm going to come out from off of the wall. You could also choose child's pose, a version of child's pose that's comfortable for you. You could also just still sit there, whatever is right for you for the next couple minutes. Find your favorite Shavasana position. If you need a blanket, grab it. I hope, probably not though, it's still freaking hot. And let your mindful movement soak in. Let your practice permeate you.
Notice where you might be feeling tension and see if you can let the ground hold you. Take a deep breath. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe do a full body stretch. And you're going to want to come up to seated again if you're not already there. Sometimes rocking and rolling is a way to get up. Sometimes you don't want to lead with your neck. You've just relaxed your neck. So if you're pushing yourself up, kind of look towards the ground as you come up, and that way you won't lead with your neck. Come on up to sitting. So this is a mudra that symbolizes balance, and the translation for namaste that I like is, may the inner light in you reflect the inner light in me. So namaste, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.